If you are not a trust fund baby, and whether or not you want to become one, these are some good beginning steps to get you there. My name is Paul Vasquez with Tax Lab. We help people become ethical millionaires. Now, if you were not born with a trust fund that's funding your life, that's giving you options to choose the work you want to do, when you want to do it, then the only person who's going to do that for you is you. Now, the advice or the strategy, the plan that you should be implementing is going to change depending on what stage in the process you might be. Like building a house, you have to first have a place to build it, maybe, or have a plan and then buy the place, but there has to be some basic things you're gonna need before you get started. Here's another little example. Let's say you're gonna build a house, you've already got the land, and you've got the plan. You've got a plan in place, now what? You've got land and a plan, but do you have the materials? Do you have the tools? So sometimes people aren't going through a plan because they don't have the raw materials or they don't have the tools. Most housing plans, you're going to have to start digging something. You're going to have to start either leveling the ground. You're going to have to either, if you're doing a post construction, you're going to have to dig some holes. If you're doing a cement foundation, you're going to have to dig some holes. If you're doing a basement, you're going to have to dig some holes. So you need some tools to dig some holes. A shovel. So you could have all the intentions of doing this, but it's going to be hard to go out there and start preparing your land to build a house if you don't have the tools. So you have to go out there and get the tools. You have to begin to put things in place, and then it becomes easier to actually implement the plan, the strategy. So what are the tools that you'll need to become a trust fund baby or to live off of a trust fund? You're gonna need to start with some type of money, some type of income. Borrowing to have your own trust fund is not necessarily, if you can borrow at a lower rate than you're earning, maybe, but it creates a difficult path. So you definitely want to have the tools and have free reign to do with those tools as you see fit, and not have to worry about giving them back. You don't want borrowed tools in this case. You want to kind of start off not encumbering yourself from the beginning. So you're going to need to start with some type of income. So you're going to need, if you don't have any money, you're going to have to find a job, start a side hustle, something where you know you can start producing income. This isn't, hey, I need to start the career of my dreams. This isn't that. You need some money coming in from somewhere to really get started. So oftentimes the best way to do that is some type of job. Anything, waitressing, postal service, Amazon carrier, Uber, whatever it is that you can find to get some gainful employment, that's a tool that you're going to need in order to build this trust fund. The next thing that you'll need are different places to store the money. So if you're unbanked, maybe there's different envelopes or different jars. If you do have access to banking, maybe there are different banks or different bank accounts. You need a way to begin to divide or section off that money for different purposes. Eventually, you'll need a trust, but you don't have to have the trust to start the process. you want to be able to get a good trust. You don't want to, like, if you're building a home and it's calling for 2x4s, you don't want to get a skinny dowel rod if your plans call for 2x4s, just because the flimsy rod or strip of paper is cheaper than buying a 2x4. So you want to make sure that when you are getting the tools, that you get the right tools for the job. You don't want a used hammer that's on its last leg to believe you're going to start this project off well. So you want good tools that are going to help you there, but those are the basics. You're going to need some type of money coming in, income. If you're a stay-at-home mom or housewife, the husband's income could be a part of what you guys need to build that family trust fund there. And as a family, you can build this together. So you can be that person who's saying, hey, as a family, let's see if we can set this up as a family. That's totally possible as well. You can do this as a family and begin that way. Eventually, it's going to be smart to kind of divide that up between parents and children. But in the beginning, you can start off that way. But you want these basic tools. There needs to be some type of income. You need to have some way of separating the funds. If you have access to banking, I recommend a larger bank for the income portion, and then a smaller bank for the savings portion. And I often recommend that you don't even bother with most traditional savings accounts because they're not giving you enough interest to pay for the tax processing of whatever piddly little interest they're giving you there. It's going to cost you more. You'll lose money with most regular savings accounts. So just go off and get 2 checking accounts at minimum. One is your family operation account, right? This is where all the bills are going to come in and out. Next is going to be that trust fund account. It's not under the name of your trust yet, but you're gonna personally designate it as that, and that's why it's a lot easier, once again, to have that in a separate bank, a local bank, a small bank, something local to you. Make sure they're FDIC insured. You know, if once you get up to the $250,000 limit, we'll worry about, you know, it being in one location or whatever. You don't have to. You're not at that problem yet. You know, if you're unbanked, you got a jar. Yeah, that's not the safest way to do it because somebody can come by and swipe the jar a little easier. There's no one who you're putting in charge of keeping that money safe. And then on the income side, you definitely want to be able to have more income than expenses, right? So you need to get some income, and then that income, when you're looking kind of at the quality of it, the quality of that tool, is that income that you're getting going to outpace your current needs? And if not, are there some things that are currently in your budget that you don't need? And that's going to be kind of phase 2, where we begin to look a little bit deeper into the quality of these tools. And maybe you've already got this part figured out. But stay tuned, because like you just heard, I see a lot of people who have a traditional savings account to have a place separate, and they're earning so little interest. And this is what I say: if it's under $25 a year that you're getting in interest, it's not worth it. It's going to cost you more to process that one piece of paper on a tax return than it's worth. So just have it be a free checking account. Doesn't cost you anything. Turn off the regular statements. Just get e-statements. You can always pull it up online. If you want a detailed plan that goes beyond this, lab.tax, click on Advisory Services and schedule your free 15-minute introductory interview, and we'll see if this is right for you.